Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to PWR today. It's Tuesday morning, September 28th, 2021. The man they call Meathead and the Linda K of Linda K's. Well, Linda K. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning, Meathead. The Linda K who loves Green Bay.
That's right, baby.
Yes. What a win.
What a win.
Green Bay Packers. But a come back at that very end. And
I mean, it's not a 66-yard field goal, so Pat McAfee will be talking about it all day, but
it was still a tremendous finish.
It was a tremendous finish. And, for the national media and I don't want to go off on a soapbox here on a wrestling podcast and talk about football, but to be completely honest, yeah, we had some jokes that, Aaron Rodgers looks like a guy that steals catalytic converters after game one of the preseason, remember, wink, wink. But, we knew it was one game. He told you it was one game. But boy, that national media just wants to get on top of dude. I mean, you got, busters like Jermichael Finley saying that, they should play Jordan Love now. Shut up. Good God, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. You've had Greg Jennings, who's been a hater for 15 years. Just stop. You're embarrassing yourself. So, hey, 2-1. We lead the division. The Bears only had 47 yards of offense Sunday, excuse me. So, I mean, life's good right now.
Absolutely. If you're a Wisconsin sports fan,
life
is good. And sports, pro wrestling fan, as we've said. But yeah, if you are a pro wrestling fan, you want to wear some pro wrestling gear, right, Meathead?
Yep. Yeah, of course. What do you think I got on? I don't have my pro wrestling banana hammock on today, but I do wear my gear.
Absolutely. Make sure to go to collarandelbowbrand.com, everyone. Check out the latest and greatest in wrestling street fashion. Make sure to use promo code LindaK, that's LINDAKAY, to save yourself 10% off. We love Collar and Elbow. They take good care of us, and they'll take good care of you.
Hey, I got a question, because Collar and Elbow guy, and you're a Collar and Elbow girl. I have to ask. We joked about it, but I don't think Collar and Elbow has a banana hammock, do they?
Not currently that I'm aware of, nor am I aware of banana hammock in the works. But never say never. Never really.
To be honest here, TBH, as they say, on the internet now. I wonder if we can get a Borat-styled Collar and Elbow banana hammock. The green neon one that he had, and just have collar and elbow on the other side.
We need more of a wrestling reference, I would think, to get that created. We know Borat, but
well, there was what was the one dude that hung around with DX for a while that was always naked dancing around? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. That's something maybe that the kids want. The 18-year-old kids, of course. Okay. A nice Borat-style banana hammock.
Okay.
Let's talk news. Today's theme for the news, like we have one every day. We don't have one, but there is a theme between the three stories that we're going to talk here. Is wrestling pay-per-view location. That's what we're going to talk about. It has been already announced, obviously, that WrestleMania this coming year is going to be in Dallas. Now, last year and the year before, Tampa Bay, it was a two-night affair. The first one because of COVID. The second one because, they were going to try to space people out. This year's Dallas pay-per-view at the Cowboys Stadium or AT&T Stadium, there was hopes that it would be a one-night event, even if it's 5 hours, whatever. Let's fill the place with 100,000 people in Jerry World. My friend, it looks like they are talking right now of making the building only 40,000 each and making it a Saturday and Sunday show. Linda.
Well, I was hoping to get back to the big one-night affair for WrestleMania.
And to be amongst 100,000, right?
Yes. I was at WrestleMania 32, I believe, last time in Dallas, and that was when it was, I believe, 107,000 fans packing the stands. I mean, it's obviously up to every state, every venue's call, or maybe WWE's, taking on that as well. But
maybe they feel they can't fill it for one night and want to make it look full for 2 nights.
I was hoping for another full night.
I think it's a money grab, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
TBH, as the kids say.
Okay. Well, I would prefer a one night WrestleMania again, but given
So you'd want a one night stand at WrestleMania, is what you're saying?
you're gonna combine both pay-per-views, yes. No, I mean, if that's how it's gonna be, it is what it is. I just prefer the one night just because there's so much other stuff going on WrestleMania weekend. If you've ever
Right.
gone, I know you have, but just anybody else, including the Shenanigans Party,
Of
including
course.
other live events and other WWE events such as Access and whatnot. Sometimes it just makes it a little hard to try to stuff so much in to that weekend.
Well, it's hard to stuff so much in on a one night stand.
Yes, exactly. So if that's how it is or how it will be, so be it. I still plan on being down there. I think you and Matthew Damas plans to be down there as well.
Plans
And
are
of
still
course
set to be down there.
our friend DN, Dave Hero, all of us who treasure our
I know
WrestleMania
Mrs. Matthew
weekends.
Damas plans on being down there as well, so
Oh,
we'll have to work that out because it's
there
not
you
that
go.
long of a drive from Denver to Dallas.
Yeah. So if that's the way it's going to be, I mean, we can't really do much about it, but one
Right.
way or another, we'll still enjoy it. It'll still be a great show, great production, and as we know, WWE just puts on that tremendous WrestleMania show. So
Absolutely. That won't be the biggest show that I've ever been to, as far as attendance wise. I have been at an event that had 250,000 people. I think I've mentioned this once before. Rockfest at the Chicago Motor Speedway, 250,000 people.
Yes.
It was unbelievable. I mean, I'd never been amongst that many people. I mean, the Deer District, when we were downtown, had to be about 125,000, to be honest with you. I mean, but that was spread out amongst a mile, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just imagine being elbow to elbow, booty to booty with 250,000 people.
Nuts to butts.
Butts to butts and nuts to nuts and nuts to butts. And there was stuff going behind the porta potties. It might have been nuts to butts. I don't know. But let's talk about our next pay-per-view that we're going to talk about here. And it's the location of AEW's Full Gear. We told you last week that it was rumored, not official yet. Well, it's official. AEW's Full Gear, Minneapolis, Minnesota. It looks like they're going to make a nice whole week out of it again like they did in Chicago. Tickets go on sale this Friday. The show was November 13th. It got bumped up a week. It was supposed to be the first Saturday of November, but there's a big UFC fight that weekend. Tickets on sale at 11 Eastern, 10 Central. I know our friend Drew Baydala in Minneapolis has got to be headed towards that show.
Absolutely. We know our good friend Drew will be down there, and perhaps some other people from the Wisconsin area. I mean, maybe Linda Kay, for all I know.
Maybe Linda
Maybe
Kay.
you.
Milwaukee to Minneapolis is 6 hours, right?
Less than.
I was gonna say that's kind
Less
of our
under.
bubble, isn't it? We'll drive around 6 hours and that's about it.
Pretty much.
St.
Well,
Louis, Minneapolis, Louisville.
Yeah, it's not too far for you either, Meathead. So let's not.
That's
really
right.
rule that out.
It's probably shorter for me. It's probably a straight shot for myself. Might even
so.
be 4 hours. Who knows?
But yeah, but that's tremendous to hear that AEW bringing. I mean, I know St. Louis is Midwest as well, but keeping the pay-per-views in the Midwest. We got a hot crowd here in the Midwest, so I love it.
Can AEW be the new AWA? Just run the Midwest.
Yeah.
Who knows? All right. So Full Gear was supposed to be in St. Louis. They are definitely heartbroken. However, WWE is going to pick up the check on that one and take care of their boo St. Louis. And they have announced today that they're putting Royal Rumble in St. Louis this January.
Did you say take care of their booze or blues?
I say take care of their boo, B-O-O.
I thought you were saying blues as in the St. Louis Blues.
That would have been a funnier joke, but I didn't make it.
Okay. But yeah, that's great that St. Louis will get an even bigger pay-per-view. I mean, the Royal Rumble, several, fans' favorite pay-per-view, even more than WrestleMania, I feel, just because of how fun the Royal Rumble pay-per-view is itself. I'm happy St. Louis from losing Full Gear, they're now gaining the Royal Rumble, which is tremendous. And again, St. Louis, not too far of a drive from here either.
Not too far of a drive. We just talked before we went on the air. That drive from Milwaukee to St. Louis, about 6 hours. Go see some Brewer games. All right. Matter of fact, they are playing tonight in St. Louis, ironically. We're not going. I know you have your heart set on. I'm not driving. I'm sorry. We're not going to make it in time. Let us talk about Raw from last night. Are you ready to talk a little Raw action? Now, we
Oh,
were
yeah.
promised that we were going to open the show with a WWE title match. It was going to be the champion, Big E, taking on the challenger and former champion, Bobby Lashley, the Almighty. We're not gonna go move by move, step by step in this match, but here's how it ended up going. Right before the disqualification of the match, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin showed up at ringside wearing Hurt Business t-shirts. They give the wink to Bobby. Bobby gives them the look. And because it looked like it was going to be a 3-on-1 on Big E, here comes the New Day, and they brawl inside the ring, stops the match. Adam, Scrap Daddy, our boy, Scrap Daddy Pierce, he was not having it. It says, you know what? I'm not doing that to Cincinnati. We're going to go ahead and restart this match at the end of the night. We're going to put it in the cage. We're going to get a winner. I like this gimmick. I don't want them to overuse it because they've used it a couple times in the last month or so. I do like this where, you know what? Not going to have disqualification. Let's stretch it out to the main event.
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me start off saying thank goodness the Hurt Business looks like they are back in action, back together. They're wearing those,
reunited, and it feels so good.
so good. Yeah, those Hurt Business shirts were awesome. I wanted one, and then they were no longer Hurt Business once WB, came back to Milwaukee, or for me to get that directly from the merch stand. However, we talk about how much value, how much of a talent Shelton Benjamin is, and Cedric Alexander as well. Did not like how they've been booked lately. Cedric going for the 24/7 title. I think Shelton was too. I think he was part of that train, that hunt.
They were just kind of hanging around, and they hated each other for a while too. That was their feud after.
Yes, so
it was terrible.
They listened to the fans. I know the fans were really hammering hard on getting the Hurt Business back together. I didn't think it was going to happen, but look, it did. And even without MVP there, we know MVP's out, getting knee surgery, right? So, hey, they can still come together without their leader of the group coming in to help Bobby Lashley. But thankfully, I love the New Day.
Yep.
We had Kofi and Xavier come in to help Big E as well. So I'm glad that AP came out, making this match continue as the main event, which, it was great to open up Raw, but now we are getting this huge match to close out as well. So I liked how that kicked off Raw.
Again, I like the little gimmick that they use with that. Just don't overuse it. It was cool, and it absolutely worked. You gave us, because they were doing that with Bobby Lashley and The Miz, right? They kept promising Bobby Lashley at the top of the hour he's going to cash in. Miz says, no, let's do it again in 30 minutes. And then they had a clock running on him. So don't overdo it, but I did enjoy it. Let's talk about Charlotte Flair's open challenge title defense. I got a bone to pick, Linda.
Okay.
If it's an open challenge title defense, it's a tongue twister. Why have it announced before the matches? Why is she not just going out there and saying open challenge and then having that surprise person come out in the middle of the show? I'm jumping ahead, yes, but why did Mountain Dew Drop get to go to Scrap Daddy and Sonya Deville and say, I'd like it to be me? Then it's not an open challenge anymore if she asked for the title match. That's not open.
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting more TV time for Dewdrop and elevating her, I guess, giving her.
Mountain Dew Drop is doing great, and I don't mean any offense when I call her Mountain Dew Drop. It's just fun to say. But she's great. She's an on-air talent. I mean, there's no denying it. She's got charisma.
Right, but yeah, it wasn't the traditional open challenge way, which is usually more exciting.
Right. It took the steam out of it, to be completely honest.
Took out the element of surprise.
Yeah, the TBH. Eric from the Viking Raiders took on Angel Garza, who has a new tag team partner. We talked about this last week, did we not?
Yeah, his cousin.
Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, who are actually cousins, are going to be Lethal Lotharios now. I don't know if that's going to be their team name, but basically they're Latino studs, and they ran over Eric.
Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking them leaning toward the heel side of the tag team division, and especially for Humberto Carrillo, because since
he can't fight Sheamus anymore.
Yes, that too. He's not on the hunt for the 24/7 title anymore either. I think they look like studs. They look great. They're great in-ring talents, great technical workers, and I'm liking this.
And they can speak.
Yes.
So speaking of 24/7, I had a little bit of the aura taken away from me tonight. Bad camera choice. Whoever was producing this one says, "Ready 17, go 17," or whatever it is. Ready, boom, whatever. I saw the trampoline outside the ring for Reggie. I don't want to see it. I know he's using it, but I don't want to see it.
Well, hopefully we don't have that happen again.
But I mean, there was no way he was just jumping and then being accelerated up over the top rope. However, I don't want to see it. Reggie gets into a no contest with Ricochet. This had some interesting elements to him. Like, wow, these guys can both fly. I mean, they might just be bouncing like pinballs, around in a pinball machine. But it ends up being a no contest because the 24/7 division, I guess, was sitting at ringside. Drew Gulak in his shirt with his face on it, and Drake Maverick and R-Truth, kind of directing traffic. Akira Tozawa stayed in the ring after commercial break and says, "I want anybody." So he got somebody, and it was Keith Bearcat Lee. That name that we talked about last week is now officially what he goes by, Keith Bearcat Lee. Keith demolished him. Matter of fact, my summary for him has total probably 15 to 20 words. 15 to 20 words, one paragraph. Destroyed Tozawa. Your thoughts?
Well, I'm glad that we got to see the return of Keith Lee and now Keith Bearcat Lee, and just, continuing showing just how strong and how dominant he is in the ring. Granted, it was against Tozawa, a lot smaller than Keith Lee, but still, he ran right through him. I'm liking him, hopefully being on Raw regularly in each week, because he is a force within Raw, and we've been missing him. We needed another big man there. We need another powerful man, and I'm liking the whole Bearcat. I know you guys talked about the reasoning with that, and I think that was great. I think we
if that's
need
truly
to have him
why,
back on the mic.
then I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so no DQ and no countouts for the U.S. title, Sheamus and Damian Priest. Damian Priest, folks, I keep saying this, even though you know this now from watching the program, Damian Priest is a star. He's an absolute star. And Sheamus has done a great job of helping elevate him even more.
Yeah, absolutely. But to use your words, Meathead, I have a bone to pick with this match.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I thought it was absolutely tremendous. I loved it. However, it was more extreme than the match at Extreme Rules. We got a great extreme match at Raw, but I was just thinking, I'm surprised this didn't happen last night. I know on Sunday night. I am aware, obviously, it was a triple threat match at Extreme Rules with Jeff Hardy inserted in there, but that match we got last night was absolutely tremendous. Especially that chair shot with the chair in the corner. I'm not sure if it really was Damian Priest's head that hit that directly, and maybe his hand got there. I'm not sure, but looks like it banged them up pretty good. And you saw the welts on them, and that was great. I know we've gotten a lot of Damian Priest and a lot of Sheamus together, and this was supposed to be the closing on their book, but I wouldn't rule out more of them, because I mean, they put on great matches. We've seen this leading up, but having it be an anything goes pretty much match, that was absolutely tremendous and a great showing, a lot of near falls. And Damian Priest, I'm glad, is still the United States champion. I would like to see the title reign longer on Damian Priest, but absolutely that match. I just thought it was ironic that it was more extreme than the Extreme Rules match they had.
Glad you called it out. That's again, I don't want to say it's hashtag tremendous, but that's hashtag tremendous. You calling it out. I love that. I mean, it makes me giggle on the inside. Jeff Hardy, Mansoor, and Mustafa Ali against Jinder Mahal, Veer, and Shanky. The winners, Veer, Jinder Mahal, and Shanky. Your thoughts on them going over Mustafa Ali, Hardy, and Mansoor?
I mean, we're going to build up this trio, and this is a great way to get it accelerated. However, Ali, though, man, just getting pinned week after week after week. I was liking him and Mansoor as his tag team, but it just seems like Ali's going to get back.
He should put together a
heel
group
side
that attacks people because he's been losing so much. I wonder how that would go over.
But Mansoor is just so happy-go-lucky, and Ali's the complete opposite. I was hoping that they would come to a happy medium with
Yeah.
them as this tag team, but it just seems to just be stuck
That's
where it's at.
WWE's thing lately, is finding happy mediums with teams. I mean, you've got the male and female version of RK Bro slash, what did it call it? Nightmare Heroes. What was the name between Nikki and Rhea?
That sounds right.
Yeah, so I mean, it's, because Rhea's the Randy Orton and Nikki is the Riddle.
Right.
So, the odd couple types. I mean, it's just enough already. Let's get a little variety. All right, let's continue on. Karrion Kross and Jackson Riker. Jackson Riker has been going great up until this match, and he just ran into the buzzsaw that is Karrion Kross. But it brings me to the point of Jackson Riker has been going great since he left our friend Elias, who's no longer walking with Elias. Put on a cowboy hat. We haven't seen dude since. It's been like a month.
Oh, good point. Good point. We haven't seen any promos for this new Elias either.
Well, he still works at the company because Byron mentioned him at least.
Right, but I mean, we have the draft coming up, so maybe we'll see this new Elias resurge. But I mean, we hadn't seen Jackson Riker on Raw in quite a while as well. But
Right.
I mean, we're just still getting more of this push for Karrion Kross, which I hope it continues. And with Keith Lee back on, I want to see more Karrion Kross and Keith Bearcat Lee.
Bearcat Lee, that's right.
Yeah, and just get Karrion Kross back to the Karrion Kross killer that we knew in NXT.
Yeah, absolutely. Riddle said he's going to do like Randy did because Randy's at home celebrating his victory over AJ last week, and he's going to beat AJ Styles again. What a brutal matchup. Boy, these two guys can go. And, we just talked about Sheamus doing the work for Damian Priest. AJ Styles continues to have matches with Matt Riddle and just helps Matt Riddle showcase who he really is.
Absolutely. I love AJ Styles. I mean, whether he's a heel or a face, he's hilarious.
I want to ask you about that. Thank you for bringing it up. I didn't know if you were going to say it. Since AJ's debuted in WWE, has there ever been a time that he's been face? He debuted in 2016 in January. That's almost a 5-year heel run for him.
Oh, yeah. Y2AJ.
Y2AJ, but I mean, that lasted, what, a month or two?
Okay.
I'm talking about like a consistent let him be a face type deal because he looked pretty angry last night. But I mean, AJ is at the top of his game.
Tremendous. I mean, I enjoyed this match as well. Him and Riddle just back and forth, and just they are so good. Like I said, just mentioned, I love AJ Styles, and him helping showcase Riddle even more, putting on this tremendous match is wonderful itself. We saw AJ Styles getting the win in the end, but I want to see more one-on-one AJ Styles and Riddle if at any point they're not in tag teams down the line.
All right. I kind of want to mention the match here. It wasn't a very long match. It was Mount Dewdrop against Charlotte Flair. Dewdrop, obviously. And, they were doing okay. Then Eva Marie came out, distracted Dewdrop. Natural selection, 1, 2, 3. Charlotte still wins. Now, Eva Marie stood over Dewdrop, and Charlotte said, "Is this broad seriously taking credit for my win and in my spotlight?" Kicks the crap out of her, lays her out. She stays there through a commercial break. We come back, and she's still on the microphone talking. And she says, "You know what? I could have beat anybody. I could beat anybody. Any woman in that locker room." Shayna Baszler came out, and if they're trying to make Shayna, excuse me, if they're trying to make Shayna a face, this is the right person to do it because Eva Marie has that go away heat right now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, when they were booing her, they weren't booing her because she was such a strong heel. They were booing her because they don't want to see her. Because, we were promised an evolution, and this is just hot garbage. So Shayna Baszler just destroys her, just beats the piss out of her, right? Are we going to keep seeing this? I thought we were done with Dewdrop and Eva Marie.
Maybe it's now going to be Sheena and Eva Marie. I don't know. Or Sheena or Eva Marie just getting, I don't say beat down every week, but getting pinned again. I mean, it's still
like
kind of
Lana?
the same. What?
You mean like Lana, how they kept putting Lana through the table?
Right, but just by different talent from the back.
I
I'm
guess.
not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
All right, let's go to Goldberg. Unannounced until right before the commercial break that we were going to hear from Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg has literally threatened the life of Bobby Lashley, and I'm pretty sure the police are on the way to his house right now because he threatened to kill him. By the way, the picture behind Goldberg, is that Goldberg flexing with his baby in his bicep?
Sure looked like it.
It sure looked like it to me too, and it's a cool picture, but
Yeah.
he is not kidding about how he loves his son, and he promised his wife and his son and Bobby, I'm going to kill you. Okay. Well, if you're going to kill him, try to do that in international waters, pal. How about Crown Jewel? Maybe that's the best place to kill people.
And a way to score points if you're in the PWR fantasy draft.
That's exactly right. So, all right. Nikki ASH and Ripley, Rhea Ripley, they won the titles. Again, Super Brutality. That's what it was called. Super Brutality. I absolutely love that name. And, you know, honestly, they could call themselves Black and Blue as well because Rhea wears a lot of black and Nikki wears the blue. So you never know. We could have Super Brutality being the tag team champions for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I know we talked about it last week how Nikki ASH, what a great couple months for her. I mean, being the Raw champ and now
She's got that new
the Raw
commercial now,
tag
too.
team champ. That too.
There's a lot
I
of
think
push behind her.
absolutely, and I do love Rhea Ripley. No matter what her role is, I prefer her as a heel. Just
Me
her
too.
persona, her look. So I think down the line, I feel there might be some tension between the two of them, and I'm just making an early prediction just because I like Rhea Ripley more as a heel.
Yeah.
That she might turn on Nikki at some point, but right now, let's keep it on them. They are that I love their name. Number one, number two, the fans seem to like it. Let's keep it rolling.
And I love Real. I mean, again, it's, you know, strip all the character off, and it's just awesome. So the draft, when it comes up as well, was mentioned that, you know, they're the women's tag team champions, so it doesn't matter where they get drafted. They get to go wherever they want, whenever they want. So they're going to be a tag team, I think, for a little bit here. But main event, the cage is lowered. Bobby Lashley attacks Big E before the cage can get lowered. That carries us over a commercial break. Again, an amazing match that went over 3 or 4 segments. New Day came out, Hurt Business came out. Kofi with an amazing move from the top of the cage out onto the floor. The winner of the match, still champion, Big E, with a big move from the top rope. Wow.
Yeah, I truly enjoyed this as well. Happy it kicked off Raw and it closed it out. We knew we would get a nice brutal match between the two of them, and even the promos backstage, the setup to it, starting
Yeah.
from Extreme Rules, leading into like throughout the night in Raw. I loved it. I think this would close their chapter, as we'll get into a little bit here, and we know that Goldberg's gonna go for Bobby Lashley, right? You know, soon as well. But we got what we wanted. I would say hard hitting, and I think use of that cage very specific. I mean, we got a lot of times where we thought they were gonna escape the door, climb over the top, a lot of pins that could have been, but
Yep.
instead, you know, and then the interference. I had a feeling that we would see Shelton and Cedric once again,
Yep. And the New Day right after.
yeah, that I know they couldn't get in the cage, but that they would interfere at some point, and I'm glad the New Day was there to help out their boy Big E, who had the big ending off the ropes, and what a way to close out Raw, and he's still the WWE heavyweight
And now
champion.
this feels like a button to a rivalry because, again, Bobby's going to move on to Goldberg, and possibly Big E's next challenger showed up at the end of the show, and he unsheathed his sword for this. He came out, and he's hopefully going to be a psychopath. Your thoughts on the possibility of his next challenger?
Well, you just took the words out of my mouth. I'm hoping he is going to be the Scottish psychopath versus Scottish warrior. Not too long ago, it was either us or with Matthew. We talked about how much rise Drew McIntyre got when he won the Rumble,
Yep.
And we want. I think most people would like to see
Him
him on
winning
the
in front of
edgier
the crowd,
side.
right?
Yeah, and also just an edgier Drew McIntyre
Mhm.
instead of the funny haha storytelling Drew. We want the Scottish
I would love to see a 3 pay-per-view program with these two. Let's stretch it out through a couple pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We got the Crown Jewel coming. Right after Crown Jewel should be Survivor Series. December to Dismember, is that what they call it? Or is it Armageddon? I'm kidding, of course. The December pay-per-view. And then a January pay-per-view, Royal Rumble. Let's stretch it out. Let's make it, each one. And maybe Drew McIntyre goes over at some point.
Yeah. Yes, he still should get that huge pop that we all wish he had back at WrestleMania 30. Was it 6, 7?
5, I think, on that one, maybe. Maybe
No,
36.
5 was New York. There was 36.
Yeah.
So then
Okay.
37 was this year. Yeah. So, hey, interesting twist. I wasn't expecting to see Drew McIntyre come out at the very end, but I like it.
I like it too. And again, it looked good. And I'm happy to see he's back. I'd like to see more of it. We got the draft coming this Friday. So, I mean, Linda, before we go, because we're not going to talk to you the rest of the week here, let me ask you. It doesn't have to be, somebody staying on one show and going on another. What rivalries would you like to see come out of the draft that we haven't seen yet?
Oh, wow. Oh, well.
It's a loaded question. I know.
Huh. A lot of them have already been back and forth, like the rivalries that I like to see, but I want to see Usos against who can they go against?
Usos in the Hurt Business.
Thank you. That's it. Remember, I brought it up too about how that could have been a Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Dream match in the making. All the gold on the Hurt Business and all the gold on the Bloodline. But they don't certainly need all the gold with the Hurt Business at this point. But building that up to Survivor Series, I like that. Now that we have the resurgence of the Hurt Business, Usos against Shelton and Cedric, let's go that route.
Okay. I would like to see, after Drew is done with Big E, I'd like to see Drew go for Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a main event on either show.
Definitely. Funny how we chose the Bloodline top fine.
It's because they're holding a gold right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So
what I want to see is a returning Elias take on Rick Boogs as well, but for Battle of his Guitar.
Oh, that's another good one. Huh.
I'm Rick Boogs, and I'm Elias. Okay, well, what are you going to do about it? Telling you, there's something there.
Let's say so. Maybe AJ Styles in there skins. I don't know. That's a loaded question. I came up with my top answer. I'm gonna stick to it.
Okay. Well,